Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Karina. Today I am sharing a new recipe with you, cashew chicken, and it's a lot easier to prepare because it's done in the crock pot. As the meal is cooking, I am also going to have a heart-to-heart with you, so let's get started. The recipe only calls for 2 chicken breasts, but I am going to use a little more than that. Mine are on the small side. A half a cup of chopped carrots. The recipe calls for half a cup of whole cashews. I'm not going to put my cashews into the crock pot. I'm actually going to toast them up on the stove before we serve it. A half a cup of soy and a 1/4 cup of rice vinegar. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. 3 tablespoons of ketchup. 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1 tablespoon of ginger paste, a half a cup of chicken broth, I am going to give this a stir, get all these seasonings mixed in together. You are going to cook this on low for 6 hours. This has only been cooking for a couple of hours, and let me tell you, the aroma that is coming off from this meal is fantastic. It smells so good. That's the only thing with crockpot meals, is you get tortured all day long by the smell if you're home. Maybe I should go out. I'm not gonna go anywhere. Instead, me and you are gonna have a heart-to-heart. A very sweet follower here on my YouTube channel asked me this question. She wants some practical tips for being a good neighbor. In this day of electronics, hardly anyone bakes a casserole for someone anymore, even if they're having a baby or whatever. So that is going to be our topic. Let's grab something to drink and get settled in and have a really good heart-to-heart. Today, I'm going to have iced tea. I like a lot of ice in my tea. I don't know why I'm drinking something cold because it's actually cold here today. I should be drinking something warm, but iced tea just sounds really good to me today. Some tips for being a practical neighbor. I have really been thinking about this one. We live in a neighborhood here in Texas, and there are quite a few neighbors that are very hard to reach out to. I guess the key point in reaching out to a neighbor and becoming on a friendlier type basis with them is that you have to put yourself out there. And I know that that can be very difficult. It is for me. I always begin by a smile and a wave. That usually breaks the ice. I have some neighbors that will not smile back, they will not wave back, so I know that they are not willing to get any closer to you at all. They basically just want you to stay in your own little corner of the neighborhood and leave them alone. I also have neighbors where when we're walking down the road, they will literally turn their back on us and ignore us. But you know, that's okay. That does not bother me because there are plenty of neighbors out there that are looking to just be friendly to you. Another way that breaks the ice is if I see them out in their yard and they're working in their garden or their flower bed. I'll be walking by and I'll say, "Your roses are gorgeous," or "You have a beautiful garden." And then if I get a response from them, then I will continue to say something like, "Do you have a secret to growing such beautiful, vibrant flowers?" Something that will break the ice. Once the ice is broken, conversation just seems to roll pretty easily. When we lived in Michigan, I became very close to one of our neighbors, actually their whole entire family. We would even have 4th of July get-togethers, our family and their family, and we do fireworks and cookout, and it was just so much fun. But in order to get to that point, I had to break the ice with them. Sometimes in our neighborhood, we'll even hear people talking about maybe somebody that has passed away. If you hear of someone that's passed away or someone that has had a child, it doesn't take much to put together either a casserole. You can put the instructions on the top of it for them and they can heat it up and make it at their own convenience. Also, you can make muffins. That's a real simple thing. You don't have to do homemade. You have to remember it's just the thought that counts. And even if it's a boxed muffin, it's gonna taste really good. You can bump it up with real fruit too. They'd never know that it was from a box. Once we moved into this neighborhood, I seen an older gentleman and he would walk up and down the road, and eventually as I was outside, maybe me and Jason were in the yard doing yard work, we would wave, we would say something to him. As we were walking down the road, we would say something to him, and it just over time, because it takes time with most people to get comfortable with you, and over time, we ended up just striking up a conversation. We hit it, all of us hit it off, me, his wife, him, and Jason, and we just really get along. We even go over and visit them on weekends. Sometimes on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, we'll go over, we'll knock on their door and be like, hey, how are you? And they always welcome us with a smile, welcome us into their home, and we get to sit and catch up on what our week has been like. I also have neighbors where they are very friendly, but they keep you at a distance, which is fine. They don't want to get too personal with you, but they want to be able to just be a friendly, neighborly kind of hi, how you doing, or something like that. I also have some neighbors where they are friendly with a wave, a smile, maybe chat a little bit. I have one where she brings her baby over at Halloween for trick-or-treating. Oh, she's beautiful. I seen her and her grandpa out the other day on the sidewalk. I don't even think she walks. She might be crawling. She had her pacifier in her mouth and she was on a little toy kitten. She was sitting on a kitten and it was on wheels, and he was pushing her down the sidewalk, and the kitten was like meow, meow, meow the whole time. And she was so good. She just was sitting there and she was just letting him push her down the sidewalk. And as soon as I seen her, I laughed and I said, oh, she is just beautiful. And in his proud grandpa way, he was like, thank you, thank you. And I said, what a fun toy. And he said, yes, it's supposed to be electric, but he was having to push it. You don't always have to be invited inside. Just being able to say hi or wave or smile, I think that is the neighborly kind of thing to do. I know a lot of people are so busy in their lives, running children to different sporting events, schools, classroom things, between church and work. I mean, really, we just don't have time to just sit and visit. I should say, we just don't make time to sit and visit anymore. And it is a very sad thing to see that a lot of people just don't visit anymore. That is something that we truly enjoy, is to just sit down and visit with people. We have always done that. Me and Jay and the boys, we used to spend weekends where we would go over to his parents' house and just sit and visit with them. And it was some of the best memories that I have of Jason's mom. I know some neighborhoods are a lot more open and they have like 4th of July parties together on their street. They do all kinds of things, and I think that would be so much fun to have a neighborhood like that. But if you don't have a neighborhood like that, like I don't have a neighborhood like that, that's perfectly fine. We have a car show every year here in our neighborhood, and that also gets everybody out and about and talking and discussing things, looking at each other's vintage cars, their motorcycles, their trucks, and then everybody gets to vote on what car is their favorite, and then whoever wins gets a small prize. Look for opportunities for doors to open for you to be able to communicate with your neighbors. We also have an online site where if an animal may be running up and down the road and somebody can report it and let everybody know the neighborhood, hey, there's a dog running around in the neighborhood, you know, if you missed him, I seen him on this road. If we can't catch him, that's what we do. We also let people know if there is something going on in the neighborhood that shouldn't be going on in the neighborhood. Not that I know of that anybody's really chatting, but something like that is nice so that you can get on there and you can read and make sure that everything is good, or if you're missing an animal, maybe they're reported on there. So technology does play a good part in a neighborhood too. Once I learned about birthdays to the neighbors where we're closest to, I always send them a birthday card every year for their birthday. I also ask them what their anniversary date was, and I also send them an anniversary card. Little things like that just make them see that you are thinking about them and that they are special to you. What are some of the things that you do to be a neighbor, to open yourself up, open your home up to your neighbors and get to know them a little better? Let me know in the comments below. Let's have this be a discussion. Also, if you have a discussion topic that you would like me to talk about here on my channel, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comment section below. I will add it to the ones that I have and you will see it in an upcoming video. I have a few more steps to finish up that recipe, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna show you what the next steps are, and we will finish it up and then we get to taste it and see how good it really is, because let me tell you, it smells amazing. I think this is really gonna be a keeper. I have the broccoli going in the microwave and I am toasting up the cashews, and I have prepared rice. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to grab that recipe down below. And if you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you have a second, will you please give me a thumbs up? I would really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you soon.